The ground shook again. It was the third time today. Commander Du-hyun steadied himself against the wall of the command center as tiny crystal fragments fell from the ceiling. "How much time do we have?" he asked. The head scientist, Suk, looked up from her screen. Her face showed no hope. 30 days at most. The core is breaking apart faster than we thought. Do-hyun nodded. The Talon people had lived on this planet for thousands of years. Now their world was dying from the inside out. "Send the message to all of them again," he ordered. Minho, the communications officer, worked quickly at his station. "Sending now, Commander. This is the 5th time we've asked for help." The Talon were not a warlike people. Their bodies, partly made of crystal, were built for peace and art. They had never needed a big fleet of ships. They had only small transports that could carry perhaps a few thousand of their 8 million people to safety. "Any responses yet?" Du-hyun asked after a long silence. Minho shook his head. "The Meridian Collective says they cannot interfere with natural planetary events. It's against their rules." "What about the Voxel Empire?" Minho hesitated. "They offered to help, but only if we give them full rights to mine our planet's remains after we evacuate." Du-hyun's crystal hands formed fists. "They want to pick over our home's bones while we watch." "Decline. The Quarians haven't even answered our calls." Outside the window, Du-hyun could see the great crystal cities of the Talon, beautiful towers that caught the light of their sun and broke it into countless colors. Soon it would all be dust. That night, Du-hyun stood on his balcony looking at the stars. His wife Jun joined him. "The council wants answers," she said softly. "People are scared. What can I tell them? That the most advanced races in the galaxy won't help us. That they see us as nothing but an unfortunate event or a mining opportunity." A light streaked across the sky. Another piece of their world breaking off and burning in the atmosphere. "We should prepare for the end," Jun said, her voice breaking. "At least we can do that with dignity." 3 days later, as hope was fading, Minho burst into Do-hyun's office. "Commander, we received a response." Do-hyun looked up quickly. "From who? The Quarians?" "No. From humans." "Humans?" Do-hyun was confused. "The new species from the outer arm. They'd barely have faster-than-light travel." "Yes," but they answered. "Their ship captain, Han-jin, says they intercepted our distress call while exploring. They've offered to help." Do-hyun felt a mix of hope and doubt. What can they possibly do? They have maybe a dozen ships in total. 15, Minho corrected. But Han-jin says their government has approved a rescue mission. They're coming here. That evening, Do-hyun called an emergency council meeting. The 7 crystal halls were packed with worried Talon citizens. "The humans are coming to help," he announced. Murmurs filled the room. Most Talon had only heard stories about humans. They were considered primitive by galactic standards. What can they do that the Meridians cannot? Someone shouted. "I don't know," Do-hyun admitted, "but they're the only ones who said yes." 1 week later, the ground shook so hard that 3 buildings collapsed in the capital city. That same day, 15 human ships appeared in orbit around their dying world. Captain Han-jin's voice came through on the main communication channel. "Talon Command, this is Earth Rescue Fleet. We're here to help. Please begin evacuation preparations immediately." Do-hyun looked at his officers, seeing a small spark of hope for the first time in weeks. "Tell them we're ready," he said, "and ask them why they came when no one else would." The human captain's answer was simple: "Because you needed help." The human ships looked small and old next to the sleek vessels of other space-traveling races. Do-hyun tried to hide his worry as he welcomed Captain Han-jin to the Talon Command Center. "Your ships can't hold all our people," Do-hyun said after they exchanged greetings. Han-jin nodded. "You're right, but we have a plan." The human captain introduced his science officer, Ji-woo. She was shorter than the other humans, with quick eyes and faster hands. She pulled up a display showing the dying planet's core. We can't save your planet, Jiwoo explained, but we can slow down its death. Our shield technology can buy us time. Other aliens thought human shields were basic and weak, but Jiwoo showed how they could link many shields together in a special pattern. With this network, we can hold your planet together for 2 more weeks. That gives us time to get everyone out. The plan was dangerous. It would push the human ships beyond their limits, but it was the only chance. Engineer Tahoe led teams to change the human ships. They took out everything that wasn't needed. They put in more seats and standing rooms. Safety rules were broken, but there was no choice. Each ship can now hold 3 times more people, Tahoe told Do-hyun. It won't be comfortable, but they'll live. The ground shook harder each day. Cracks opened in the beautiful crystal cities. The Talon people formed lines to board the human ships, carrying only what they could hold in their hands. On the 3rd day of the rescue, a message came from the Meridian Collective. They sent ships, but not to help, only to watch. The Voxel Empire also came, threatening to attack Earth for breaking space laws by interfering. Ignore them, Captain Han-jin told his crew. Focus on the people we can save. The humans worked without stopping. They ate while walking and slept only a few hours each night. The Talon were amazed by their energy and how their bodies could keep going when tired. When part of the planet's surface broke open, dangerous rays came out. The levels were too high for safe work. We need to pull back, Do-hyun said, worried for the humans. But the human crews refused. They took special medicine that would protect them for a short time, even though it would hurt their health later. We knew the risks when we came, Han-jin said simply. Jun helped organize the Talon children onto the ships. She watched a human crew member named Eun carry 3 crystal children to safety when their parents were caught in a rock slide. Why do you care so much about us? Jun asked Eun. You never met us before. Eun smiled through her tired face. That doesn't matter. No one should have to die if we can stop it. As the last week began, the planet's breaking got worse. 3 human ships were caught when a huge crack opened under them. The ships could have escaped, but they stayed in position, holding their shields up to keep the path clear for Talon transport ships. Over the radio, the Talon heard the last message from one human captain. Route is secure. Get them out. We'll hold as long as we can. All 3 ships were lost with their crews. On the final day, as the last Talon boarded the remaining ships, Do-hyun found Captain Han-jin looking at a screen showing Earth. Your people gave us shelter on 7 of your worlds, Do-hyun said. Why would you share your homes with strangers? Han-jin turned. His face was streaked with ash and tears for his lost friends. Because that's what homes are for, he answered. Places of safety for those who need it. As they left the dying planet behind, the Talon watched through the windows. Their beautiful world broke apart in a flash of light. But they were not homeless. They were not alone. The humans had made sure of that. 6 months had passed since the Talon lost their home world. Now they lived on 7 human planets, with most on Earth itself. The humans had given them land to build new cities, food to eat, and teachers to help them learn about their new homes. Hyun-soo was a young Talon who had lost his parents in the rescue. He now lived with a human family in a place called New Seoul. Each day, he wrote down what he saw and learned about humans. Today, he was visiting a memorial with his human guardian, Sung. This stone has the names of all the humans who died to save us, Sung explained. Hyun-soo ran his crystal fingers over the smooth black rock. He counted 89 names. Before they left to rescue us, the humans knew they might fail. Hyun-soo said, I found their records. They thought they had only a 38% chance of success. But they went anyway. Sung nodded. Why would someone take such a risk for strangers? Sung thought for a moment. It's what makes humans different, I think. We see someone in trouble, and we just have to help. In another part of Earth, Commander Do-hyun and Captain Han-jin stood before the Galactic Council. The leaders of the Meridian Collective and Voxel Empire looked down at them with cold eyes. Humans broke our most important rules, the Meridian leader said. They interfered with a natural disaster. You call the death of 8 million people a natural disaster? Han Jin asked. We call it a tragedy we could prevent. The voxel leader banged his fist. Earth is too young to make such choices. Your primitive ways could upset the balance of power. Do Hyun stepped forward. His crystal body caught the light and threw rainbows across the council room. You call humans primitive because they value life more than rules. You say they are inefficient because they help others at cost to themselves. These things you see as weaknesses are their greatest strengths. The council room fell silent. Back on Earth, something amazing was happening. The Talon were sharing their knowledge. Their crystal technology, when combined with human engineering, created new power systems that were cleaner and stronger than anything before. In hospitals, Talon healers were using their skills to help the human rescuers who had gotten sick from radiation during the evacuation. Many humans who would have died were now getting better. Jun worked with human doctors. She placed her crystal hands on a sleeping human woman who had piloted one of the rescue ships. Her body is healing, Jun told the doctor. Our ways and your medicine together work better than either alone. The doctor smiled. That seems to be true for many things. 1 year after they lost their planet, the Talon had built a special monument. It was made of crystal saved from their home world. When the sun hit it just right, it made light patterns that spelled words in many languages. Hyun-Soo stood before it with his human friend Min. Many Talon and humans gathered around them. What does it say? Min asked. It says, when the advanced refused, the courageous prevailed. The stars remember. In space, things were changing. The Voxel Empire and Meridian Collective had to accept that humans were now important. The Human-Talon alliance was growing stronger each day. New ships were being built using both human and Talon ideas. Captain Han Jin looked out the window of his new ship. Do Hyun stood beside him. Your people have given us so much, Han Jin said. Your technology is centuries ahead of ours. Do Hyun shook his head. Technology is not what makes a species great. Your people had something better than advanced ships. You had heart. Outside the window, Earth and the new Talon settlement shone in the sunlight. Different worlds, different peoples, now connected forever by one simple truth. When it mattered most, humans had proven that compassion was the most advanced technology of all.